One of the lessons that I've learned in this walk of being an MMA fighter, that respect is the main thing. It's all about respect. Respecting, who you are as a person, respecting the little guy, the little kid, the little girl, the boy, the old man, the older woman, having the respect for people, and people will respect you back. Respect is key.
The Miami Herald reports the death of a street brawler who became a mixed martial arts fighter.
MMA fighter and internet legend Kimbo Slice, who died yesterday at the age of 42.
A pioneer, an icon, a trailblazer, one of the true greats in MMA, one who broke down a lot of doors.
Slice, who was born Kevin Ferguson, was taken to the hospital Monday in Florida for undisclosed reasons.
Kimbo Slice's street brawls in South Florida made him famous on YouTube.
Reports that Slice was awaiting a heart transplant surfaced following his death, leaving the world with questions.
Kimbo Slice did it all, said it all, and really helped bring MMA to the forefront.
I had read some of these things that the media had put out that, oh, he was rushed to the hospital on Monday and that's where he passed away. No, he was in the hospital on Friday.
I had seen him earlier that day, say, golly, man, you move a little rusty there, I'm thinking, my dog, he's strong as an ox, he gonna be fine.
And it wasn't until Friday evening that he had called me and he goes, look, man, the doctor's telling me that I need a heart transplant. A heart transplant, like, where did that come from?
I was in the hospital with him and see him, cried together, and I see how much pain he was going through. And I was like, God damn, man, in a way you be like, man, you just want him to just rest so he won't be at pain no more, but then you need him here because there's so much more to get done, So much more people need you.
We knew it wasn't good when we got the news Friday, but there's nothing that led me to believe that Monday could have been, his last day with us.
The weekend went by, Monday came around.
I was about to come up and go to the hospital to go see him, and his wife called me like 5 o'clock, and she was hysterical, and she's like, he stopped breathing.
We get there, and like Mike said, his mom, his wife, and Black was in the room, and he had already, and I couldn't believe it,
Like my little nephew is a trooper. He came up to me, Kevlar, and said, you know what, Uncle? Your brother's in a better place. And I looked at him like, that's your father. He said, yeah, I know he's in a better place. Let's walk over and say some words. I couldn't do nothing but grab him and just put on my glasses and cry. I'm like, and we went over there. He touched him like, I love you, Dad, and I'm gonna miss you. And I'm gonna do everything you taught me.
When someone close to you passes, there is shock and the sudden rush of emotions. It's only days later, after they've been laid to rest, that's when the lingering silence settles, and you realize that that person is gone forever. Kevin Ferguson, the man known to the rest of the world as Kimbo Slice, died on June 6th, 2016. He was born in the Bahamas, grew up in the projects at Dade County. He was a football star in high school. He survived Hurricane Andrew and had to fight to make ends meet for his family. And through fighting, he found himself. He found a purpose. He was a man who touched so many lives, who made so many friends, a man who was a father, son, and a husband, who left his mark on the world.
I ain't gonna miss this. A tribute to a gladiator, a warrior, also known as my brother, my best friend, of course. I'm here, man. I'm here. He had a heart of gold. His heart was too big for his body. That's how big his heart was, And that's what, laid him to rest.
I would say he inspired a lot of people by showing them never give up, showing where he came from. I mean, he didn't turn pro until he was 32, so he was grinding, he lived in his car, and he still never gave up.
This is the beauty of this amazing country that we live here. If you work hard here and you make no excuses, you're gonna succeed.
His entire story, this guy was the American dream. Came from nothing and went on this path that took him to the top of the sport.
We never set out or intended for him to become the star that happened. You know, people just gravitated towards him. You know, when all those fights got released on the internet, we were just sharing the video. And then, you know, what happened, happened.
My boy was like, Mo, I just seen the craziest thing on the internet, man.
For me, that was the first time I ever sat in front of a computer and typed somebody's name into YouTube.
Never seen anything like that before. This guy would roll into people's backyards and they would just start fighting.
When those videos came out, it was a complete storm. Kimbo Slice, Kimbo Slice. Well, I would sit there for hours and watch him. Everyone did.
I seen this big old with a beard and gold teeth and an ugly-ass haircut knock somebody's eyeball out the socket.
In England, everybody knew who Kimbo was, you know? We'd hear about this, the crazy man who would fight in the backyard.
For Kevin to have that skill set and go from YouTube sensation to fighting professional mixed martial artists who have been doing it for years and be successful, I don't think people can understand that magnitude.
He came to throw down. He was the warrior spirit of what we are in MMA.
What he had was his heart, his balls, and a hell of a punch.
There is no mixed martial arts at where it's at right now without Kimbo Slice. He brought in those fans who could care less about Hoist Gracie or Chuck Liddell or Tito Ortiz.
There hasn't been a fighter that has crossed over into mainstream like Kimbo Slice. Ratings don't lie. He was the biggest star, and everybody knew it.
All I'm saying is if Kimbo's not in your Mount Rushmore, I don't mean to cuss, you don't know shit about MMA.
Come on, man, y'all already know, man. Don't need no introduction. The one and only the truth. This your boy, Kimbo Slice 305, at his best, baby.
Bill Goldberg here, throwing a shout out to Kevin Ferguson, AKA Kimbo Slice. You know, I appreciated what you did in the ring, but I admired what you did out of the ring, brother. You were the antithesis of what people thought, kind, good-hearted dude, and at the end of the day, you took care of the kids. Hats off to you, brother.
When we return, Kimbo Slice in his own words.
Nah, I didn't go through life being a bully. I go through life not liking bullies. In the 6th grade, I fought a bully, one of the bullies of the school. This guy literally would take my chocolate milk. Like, you know, like seriously, I had to go through this. So to fight this guy and to beat him and then to get praises from my other friends and buddies. So to get that from that, you know, it was like, hey, cause and effect.
There's the champ.
The man who would become Kimbo Slice, Kevin Ferguson, grew up in the projects of Miami, Florida. While he was a star athlete in high school and a kid with big dreams, he also had to live with the day-to-day reality of growing up on the mean streets of Dade County. And it was on those streets where the character Kimbo Slice was born.
I grew up in a neighborhood called Pinecrest. Era we grew up in the 80s. You know, the neighborhood it was rough. You know, people was dying. You know, you go out to take out the garbage, you would go around the corner and you would see a foot, and then you just throw the garbage in the dumpster and run back upstairs. And hey, man, just, you know, take a bath and go to bed and call it the night. That is some scary shit. A lot of my friends took to a life of crime. So a lot of friends of mine were killed because of that. I had to develop a killer instinct. I had to develop a good attitude, but still be respectfully, because I had a mother, and I had a sister, and I had a little brother that would look up to me one day. So when I'm out in the streets with my I gotta be like, man, I'll kill you if I have to. But when I'm with my mother, my sister, my brother, yes, ma'am. Yeah, Renee, I got your back. What's up, little bro? What do you need? I had to become another person at times. Yeah, I could have lost myself, and at times I sometimes did. But I had to always come back home to my mother, to my sister, to my brother, to where I know this is my true identity. Let's do it. Oh! Leave him alone, Smith. Don't touch him. At the time of those bare-knuckle fights, it was a door opener to the point to where here's an extra couple $100, and that was the world to me. That helped. That helped. That helped make a difference. That helped me eat. Oh!
You gotta finish him! Leave him first, leave him. That's where he belongs.
It's the dirty 305, baby, Dade County. Don't forget it. Shortly after a few street fights, I started taking some training, and we were getting ready to fight the ex-heavyweight champ of the world, Ray Mercer. And they didn't want to sanction that fight because they didn't know who I was. They never heard of Kimbo, they never heard of me. I got one thing to say, man. I'm gonna break you, boss. So I beat Ray Mercer in 1 minute and 27 seconds, and I was a 10-to-1 underdog. With me dedicating myself to it and committing myself to something, I proved that to myself that I can do this. My future was born from that. I'm gonna show you. 305, boy. One of the joyous things and moments you can do now when you reach a certain age, go back and reflect where you came from, because the neighborhood is what helped made you who you were. So to go back and see your boys, them still alive, it's a beautiful thing. To see them there and still fighting the struggle, having their own. Entrepreneurs now, now. You know what I'm saying? To see that, man, it's a beautiful thing. I can come through and go back to my neighborhood and be a blessing to them now.
God bless you, man. God bless you.
You're looking good, man. You're looking the same. Knowing that what we've gone through, we went through hell. We went through hell and high water. Some of my boys been shot at, hit by cars, robbed, been on drugs, off of drugs, been locked up, not out now. And now we're here, and we can come together for whatever the reason may be, whether it be a barbecue, whether it be a jam, or whether it be a reunion for the projects. We can come back together at some point in time and say, God damn, man, what's up, bruh? It's been, 20 years? 20 years, we can say 20 years to each other. It's like, man, I miss you. I got nothing but love for you, man. How you been? How's life? Shit, life is tough. Life is rough, but I'm still living. And that's all we can say. That's all we can ask for. And it's all because God had a calling for us. He kept a lot of us alive for some reason. I thank God that I'm still here to this day. And he has blessed me like he's done.
One thing I want people to remember about Kimbo is, he accomplished a lot in a short period of time. He made our sport mainstream, and he was taken away from us way too early. But his mark in the world will always be remembered. Thanks, Kimbo.
Coming up, Kimbo Slice. From street fighter to superstar.
It's always two guys in the same neighborhood that have beef with each other. And they settle it in different ways, but they settle it. Biggie and Tupac, they could be in the suburbs. Brett doesn't like Brandon, you know what I mean? And they go after the same blonde cheerleader. Every city, there's beef. There's always a beef that brings the fight to a whole nother level.
People forget really easily that MMA was born out of an effort to make a street fight a sport. Kimbo, in a way, took a sport and made it street fighting.
He just captured, America better than any other martial artist or MMA fighter has done to this day.
No other fighter makes showmanship and ferocity like Kimbo Slice. An internet sensation.
It don't stop. It never stops.
Who became a mainstream star and delivered blockbuster television ratings wherever he went.
He really crossed over into pop culture, presenting at the Country Music Awards, in movies, on Nickelodeon.
Ho, 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 Merry Christmas, and all that stuff.
In 2008, Slice became the first fighter to headline a fight card on a major television network. More than 7 million people watched his fight with James Thompson on CBS. At the time, it was the highest-rated MMA fight in U.S. history.
Look at the numbers that came to watch him in person and on the tube.
When people attended those fights, they weren't MMA fans, they were Kimbo Slice fans.
There's guys that are talented athletes. There are guys that are gifted speakers. There's guys that are amazing, just tough fighters. He's the kind of guy that had it all.
He had fans that were across all demographics, all races. They all tuned in because they want to see him fight.
It's the fight fans want to see.
And now ready to make his way to the cage out of the red corner, Kimbo Slice.
In Kimbo Slice's debut with Bellator MMA, he battled Ken Shamrock. That fight revitalized his career. The rivalry between Ken Shamrock and Kimbo Slice dates back to 2008, when the two were about to fight on CBS.
You know, the night before the fight was the weigh-ins. I got shoved. This dude pushed me while my back was turned.
The big feud started when Ken pushed him at that weigh-in, and then he didn't fight that fight. You know, that was, for all those years, that was the last memory Ferg had of him, was getting pushed at that weigh-in.
Just hours before broadcast, a cut forced Shamrock to drop out.
You got a nick over your eye and you have to get stitches. Like, what were you doing? You know what I'm saying? You get that close to a fight and it doesn't happen. It's like a ghost. You know, it haunts you.
7 years later, Bellator MMA signed both men to headline a fight card in St. Louis, Missouri. For Shamrock and Slice, the emotions were still raw.
Hey, listen here, shit rap. Ain't nothing you could do that's gonna faze me. So you can stay in your little trailer, keep eating your little Wheaties, shredded wheat. None of that shit's gonna help you.
You know,
you ain't
your
never fought a like me, believe that. You ain't never
your
fought
red
like me.
speaks for itself.
You understand what I'm saying?
It was one of the most tense shoots I've ever been on or been near. So there was a lot of like tension going on and kind of keeping him away from Ken and keeping Ken's people away from his people and all this stuff.
I say something. And I'll slap your mouth, bro.
Shove those gold teeth down your
down, bro.
On June 19, 2015, Slice and Shamrock settled their differences inside the cage.
The first fight that I did with, Kimbo was this fight against Ken Shamrock. And people can say what they want about it. But there was a point where Ken, he gets him down and he gets his back and he starts choking him.
It's under the neck! That is tight!
And there's that moment in time he thinks about tapping to get out. There's no doubt, I can see it in him. And his hand comes out and it clicked in him. No, not gonna do it.
Kimbo has that ability to stay relaxed in crazy pressure situations and somehow found a way to get a hold of that arm and twist a little bit and then get back to his feet.
It was all Ken Shamrock, now all Kimbo Slice. Drop Shamrock, and the count for behind win for Kimbo Slice.
He hit Ken, people say what they want. I am telling you, he hit him with the right hand. There was a sledgehammer. It split him open. And that right there says everything. It's like, could he have quit? Yes. He could have gotten himself out. He would have made money anyways. But that man had a fighter's heart, and he didn't quit.
After all the animosity, all the talk back and forth, what does that handshake and hug mean to you, man?
Respect, you come into a fight and you get beat, you got to show respect to the guy that beat you.
Once they did fight and it was over, it was all love, and they got along wherever we ended up being. And, Ken's, is a nice guy.
In that fight, he showed that he wasn't just a street fighter. He was still learning, and he was still dedicating himself to his craft.
Still got a lot of work to do.
Hey, can't teach hard. You don't get that in the gym. Either you have it or you don't have it.
That's true. That's what's up.
Kimbo wanted to evolve as a martial artist and become the best martial artist he could be. Man, that's really all you can ask for.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys, dog. Thank you very much, man. Funny. The shit did. It wasn't it was striking and everything.
So dramatic.
But we did it, dog. I'm talking about I was laughing at Carl for being put in it. You know what I'm saying? And here I am in the same situation.
And it was deep.
Yeah, y'all
Yeah, indeed. I remember. I remember. This is what makes us who we are. To go up, to come down, and get up and keep on fighting. This was designed for me. I was designed in some kind of way to win some, to lose some. But more, I'm gonna keep coming. I'm gonna keep on fighting.
They don't come up like Kimbo anymore. They're never gonna come up like Kimbo anymore. That link from the street to the MMA, I think that died with Kimbo. I really do.
Man, we lost another great person, man, in Kimbo Slice.
If you ever met Kimbo, you would know that he is nothing like the image that maybe he portrayed in the press.
He was very gentle, very respectful.
You showed more heart and more willpower than anybody I've ever seen.
And he did so much for the sport of MMA.
Kimbo Slice, you're gone, but you never forgot, baby.
Rest in peace, Kimbo.
Up next, his friends and family remember the man who was Kimbo Slice.
You're in B speed. 2 alpha, take 1 comment, Mark.
I gotta fix this mic.
Yeah, it just fell. You know, I could probably try to tape it back on, you know?
First tape.
You just want to touch my chest again. Get away from me, pervert.
Sure.
Stranger danger. We're going to make a movie. It's good stuff.
Kimbo Slice was a larger-than-life character,
All right, guys, Kimbo's ready to roll.
and everyone who knew him had a story to tell.
We get to say ass this time? I'm excited.
Kimbo just got done with this fight where Ken Shamrock was trying to do everything in his power to choke him unconscious. After the fight, somehow, he got a cut in between the webbing of his toes, the tiniest little cut.
Oh, wow. Damn toe button. See it right there? Hell yeah.
He only needed maybe like 1 or 2 stitches.
Can I get put to sleep? Can I get put to sleep?
He wasn't taking it well. It was so funny to see this giant, badass dude whining and crying about his baby toe.
Yeah. Can I have a lollipop? You didn't want to see my legs? I got nice legs. All right.
You know, when we were at the Houston press conference and Kimbo was there, Dada was there, I said, Kimbo, do you want to speak first? And he said, no, I'll let Dada first. So I said, Dada, go ahead.
You fool! Shut up, man. You ain't got shit to say.
I'm like, oh my God, did he just say that?
Hey, so pull your pants down. Let me see size.
And I'm sitting with Royce Gracie right here, Kimbo on the side.
You got baby nuts, Dada. You got baby nuts. I bet you my nuts bigger than yours.
I was about to exit the press conference.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Have a seat, guys. Have a seat.
It's time to settle this.
I want scarier than that.
Last Halloween, all the kids and him, they all dressed up as minions. And it was pretty funny seeing him in that costume.
All right, here we go. Feed me. Help. Somebody help.
One night in the Ultimate Fighter house, Kimbo bursts in my room, and Kimbo goes, yo, Shab, wake up, man. Huh? He goes, wake up. I'm like, why? He goes, they're talking about our people. There's some guy in the house who just went nuts, started saying all this racist stuff, and Kimbo goes, yeah, man, we're gonna whip his ass. No, I'm completely down with that, but I'm not black, Kimbo. And he goes, what? I went, no, I'm not black, man. He went, damn, that's crazy. Yeah, that's why I love you, dog. I can't tell what you are.
I get to eat, finally.
Never judge a book by its cover. We literally went to meet him and his manager in a hotel room. And I was like, I'm probably gonna get my ass kicked when I walk into this room. And we walked in, and the thing that blew me away, he was the nicest guy you could ever meet.
I've been seeing y'all on Facebook.
Yeah, that's man.
That's what's up, man.
I noticed like a lot of people wouldn't walk up to him because he had this look, you know. He wasn't really like that, man. If they knew him, man, they walk up to him and hug him.
Outside of the ring, gentle giant, like they say. Sweetest man you ever meet, ever like, oh my God, he's so nice and polite.
There is no question that when we were in high school, you wouldn't describe him as caring.
Let's run this, dog.
He was just this off the chain, first to handle whatever, and would never instigate it. But if it happened or it came, he dealt with it. As we, grew older, he really became more and more of a family man. As you grow up and you mature, you, I guess, develop into who you're supposed to be.
I feel good when I'm with my family, and I die for them.
What comes to mind when you're thinking about combat sports in Miami? It's Kimbo Slice.
And what was amazing was to meet this tough and intimidating guy who actually had a lot of really amazing things to say and had such a big heart and was so generous with his time.
Kimbo, I love you. You will be my brother forever. More than a fighter, you are my family.
I was always a big fan of Kimbo, and he'll be sadly missed.
Rest in peace, Kimbo. We miss you, baby.
When we return, a day in the life of Kimbo Slice.
The best gift I ever received for Christmas, it wasn't Christmas. It's a little bit before Christmas. It was when my youngest son was born. His name's Kevlar. And he was a very unique little kid. And he was my best gift that I received for Christmas. My little kid.
Kimbo was larger than life. He would walk in a room and immediately get everybody's attention.
There was never a moment he didn't stop to sign an autograph. There was never a moment he didn't stop to say hello.
He was not the persona. And I think there was a big difference between Kimbo Slice and Kevin Ferguson or Ferg.
One thing that I really loved about Kimbo was how much of a family person he was.
He always wanted that family time. He loved his family.
When I see Kimbo, with his kids, I'm like, damn, I wish I had a dad like that in my life.
During fights, his kids were in the locker room with him. His wife was always around him. He was a family man.
In 2015, a camera crew followed Kimbo Slice around for a day. When he wasn't fighting, Kimbo Slice, AKA Kevin Ferguson, was a devoted family man. The father of 6 children, a caring husband, and a devoted son. And that's what the cameras caught that day. A day in the life of Kevin Ferguson.
I kind of knew how I wanted to live as a kid. Have a big crib in a gated community. Those were my dreams and my goals as a kid. It started becoming, I was, well known for the street fighting. Everyone knew who I was, but I wasn't successful. That didn't come till many, many, many years later. I still had to work for that. My dreams and my goals were all the same, and I'm living them. I just thank God for having been able to live for 40 years to see that.
1, 3, block, ready? And then give me a hook right hand. Good, again.
When I was in my 30s, you still think like a 20-year-old, kinda. I wasn't as strong. My mind wasn't as keen. Just had big balls and was just ready to hit everything head up, Being 40, your do's and your don'ts now. And I feel great. I've never been as strong as I've been in my life. I've never had the ambition that I had in my life. I know what I want now. I know where I'm at. I know what it's gonna take to get to that goal, to that accomplishment.
Good, again. Good, again. Good, again. Beautiful, again.
Can't give you all the secrets.
Give me 1, 2. Beautiful, good, again. Good motion. Nice.
No rest for the weary. Like when it comes down to your kids, you want to give them everything about you, what you have, so that they could be a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit smarter, a little bit wiser. You just want your offsprings to be a little bit better than you were, or you were growing up and coming up in this life. Thank you, Mikey.
Well put, well put.
Now it's time to check up on the little man, see how he's doing. I'm not just battling this battle or fighting a fight, but we're battling autism. We're fighting autism. When I'm here and with them and then we're a part of each other's life, I'm giving him a part of me, he's giving me a part of him. Now, every now and then, he'll just want to make sure I'm looking. He makes sure I catch his eye to see, is that my dad looking, is my dad watching? I want my dad to see me do this. That in itself is a great accomplishment, to see my son, you know, learning how to wrestle, learning how to jiu-jitsu. It makes me feel good inside, you know? And he loves it. He loves it. Look at these guys. And this is the reason why I continue to fight like I fight. For one reason, and that's for them. This is my grandson. This is the third generation Ferguson, third generation Kimbo. Everything is a family affair here. You know, I have a kick-ass spirit, you know, no-nonsense nature in that cage, because when it's off time, this shit is serious to me. You know, family is serious to me. But this is my family. This is one of the reasons why I do what I do. You know, and I take fighting and everything so serious. But if it wasn't for my mother on the end of the table, then all this would be for nothing. Following in my own footsteps, that's Kiara. You know, she's a wrestler, jiu-jitsu. She likes to throw hands.
He's a little bit pushy when I train with him. I don't think he's just with, you know, fighting. I think it's just with everything, because he wants me to be better than him in life. He's just the normal dad. Yeah.
So good. All righty.
I'm playing basketball.
Here we go.
Sport.
Kai, you playing basketball too, right?
So everybody got their good and bad days, but the most part of it, we always have good days. He listens to all of us, and it's like 7 of us. It's very important to him. To be someone like that, you know, he got to have a big heart. He has a great big heart, a good loving heart.
Come on, I had goals. I had accomplishment. I wanted, you know, to be a pro fighter, to be successful. You got to know what the reward is. You got to be focused. Well, I like that word, focus. It's all about that.
Hello, this is Mick Foley of the WWE. Like many of you, I first learned of the legend of Kimbo Slice as a YouTube sensation, but it was as a father that Kevin Ferguson really earned my admiration. Like Kevin, I am the father of an autistic child, and upon learning of his love and his gentle nature, I realized what a special man he was. Rest in peace, Kimbo Slice. You will be missed.
When we return, saying goodbye.
I fight for a lot of reasons, man. I fight for my family. I fight for myself. I was able to put my kids through college, you know, put my family in a home, get my mother a car, my mom has a home. You know, I'm literally taking care of my family by fighting.
Kimbo Slice was the fighter, a character born on the streets of Miami, who fought with his fists and won with his heart. While Kevin Ferguson was the man, a man who embraced his life and held his family above everything else. And together, they forged a legacy that will be honored for years to come.
Will there be another Bruce Lee? No. Will there be another Elvis Presley? No. Will there be another Kimbo Slice? No. He was a special individual.
It just says a lot about him. He literally used every ounce that was in him, whether it was in the cage or whether it was to his family. He did it till he couldn't do it anymore.
If somebody was going to write a book about your life, would anybody read it? And I think if you were to ask that question about Kevin Ferguson, the answer would be yes.
He represented the very best of the American dream.
If you're a hard worker, you will succeed for sure. And Kimbo was the living example of that.
The amount of respect that he got from the MMA community was overwhelming.
He's the kind of guy you want to have around. He was a prankster. He was a jokester. He was, you know, a happy guy. I'm gonna miss that the most.
Every time Kimbo did anything, made an appearance, had a fight, announced something, was cage side,
it was an event, and it was big, and it felt like everybody was on the same roller coaster at the same time. I'm gonna miss that a lot.
I want to thank him. I want to thank him for everything that he's done for the sport.
He's a guy that when the chips are down, he fought, and he fought, and he fought, and he landed on his feet.
Yeah, if you can hear this, Kimbo, buddy, just want to say I love you and hope to see you again someday.
Ferg, you were a warrior in the cage, an amazing family man outside of it. It was a wild and crazy ride, and I'm really lucky and glad that I was able to have a seat on it, and I'm gonna miss you, boss.
Your age is judged not by the years you've been alive, but by your number of friends. And by that measure, Kimbo Slice outlived us all.
My condolences go out to his family for their loss, for the guy to pass at such a young age. I never thought this would be true, but I actually ended up really liking Kimbo Slice a lot.
Everybody at the gym, we gonna fight hard for you and keep a legacy going, you know what I'm saying? And use these when we go out there and put people to sleep for you, man, in your name. Rest well, rest in paradise.
Well, I'm gonna miss Kimbo Slice because he was my father.
You made me laugh. You always were honest, and you always went out and gave everything you had. No one can ask more. You did everything you could. You helped our sport. You proved yourself as a man. You're a great father, and I'm gonna miss you. Bye, brother.
I believe we stay alive in the memories of those who loved us, and Kimbo has given us an ocean of memories. And now, you know, that's what I'm gonna remember. And that's that.
I think he'll always be there watching over us like he did when he was here. I think he's gonna still be that there. At least I hope so. He might be late sometimes, but he'll always watch over us.
First of all, I let him know I love him. I love you. And it's not, will never be a day or a time I'm gonna not think about you. You'll always be in my heart. Always gonna be my homie. And save a spot for me, because I know it's gonna be a day I'm gonna come. So sit my chair next to yours, buddy.
And I really miss you and I love you. And we're gonna carry your legacy on. That's what I want to say. I don't want to tear, because I didn't tear it up enough. But we miss you and we love you, bro. I'll see you one day at the crossroad.
I don't know if this is a goodbye. I think it's more just words to describe Kevin Ferguson, or as you guys knew him, Kimbo Slice. Pioneer, fighter's heart, superstar, relentless, loving, caring, friendly. And one of a kind. God damn it.